Action. Okay. Hey, and welcome to something new. So it's Monday morning, 9 o'clock sharp, and today I want to build something within one day. So I'm gonna go from idea to concept to hopefully testing something in just a day. What led me to this is I found two of these old PanaVise table vices in the dumpster downstairs from where I live. And the nice thing is they're old, but they're super heavy, nice cast iron parts. It is a bit rusty and it needs some love, but I think we can make something out of it. So for now the vise is missing, but I think later I can fix something so I can mount different things on it. But I was thinking to be able to make this sort of a nice stand to work and solder things on. It would also be nice to have some light or a fan or something to help with some helping hands, for example. And I still have some of these IKEA style lights. So the idea is to mount some on here and make it able to put some extra lights on your project. So it's very important that you can always see clearly what you're doing, and having an extra light that helps a lot. So my first idea is to make something in between this mount and the cast iron base. It just has 3 screws. I can undo it, have something in between, and have it sandwiched in between. And the idea is to have that 3D printed. So then it's possible to model this, have it printed out, and test if it works. Only thing is, for that I need a 3D printer. But today I'm in luck because I just received my Prusa Mini. So this video will be just as much about unpacking this, assembling it and testing it as it is for printing something in between here and making this one useful again. So I will bring this over to my workbench, set up the overhead camera, unpack it, and yeah, check what's in the box and see if we can make it work. Time for printing. Oh yeah. First time, power on. Got the socket. Good. Turn it on. Oh yeah. Okay, so we assembled the printer and it's now happily doing some test prints. So while we wait for that to finish, let's head back to the vise. I cleaned it up a little and it's already moving a lot better. I will show you like this. So it's moving freely, it turns freely, and now let's see if we can open it up. and mount something in between. So for that, we unscrew these 3 bolts. That's 1, 2, and 3. And then we can take off this part, PanaVise, and we can make something in between here and here. So something that can help, if we get a paper and a pen. Is to trace this. The nice thing is that it has a bit of weight to it, so it doesn't move as easily. Normally when you trace something, it always moves a bit. Unos, dos, tres, and finish it up here. Okay, so that's all the mounting for this one. So I traced this one onto here, and we can see that the radius is now roughly 45. That these holes should be around 8 millimeters. Next on are these IKEA lights, and I got 2 of them from the second-hand store, which have like these tabletop mountings, but they don't have anything easy to mount onto here. So I had a look, and it seems like there's thread in here. So I already took the cable out from the middle, and then it's glued down, but if you take some pliers, you can unscrew it. Same second-hand store. I found a whole bunch of switches, just low power switches, but perfect for these applications. So we can make 1 for each light and maybe 1 for the van. So I have some of these cute micro USB breakout boards. That should make it easy to connect everything. So these are roughly all the parts that we need. So I think it is kind of nice to have the mount like this, because that's also how it is on here. And then have the buttons on the front, of course. Maybe have the USB connector coming out from the side and the back. Have the lights on either side, like this. Oh, this is gonna be a bit tight, maybe. Let's see how we can solve that. And then light, fan. Yeah, something like that. So let's see, it should be just a simple sort of extrusion, just to make it a bit higher, and then later we can find some screws which are a bit longer, so we can sandwich it in between. One of the concerns I had was whether I should mount the lights like this or like this, but I figured this is here and it needs to be able to move all the way around. So ideally it would be best to mount it like this and not like this, to be sure that it's not in the way of the knob. So from this model I exported the top view as a DXF, printed it on a 1:1 scale, and now for the big moment. Is it gonna fit? Well, it basically almost fits perfectly. The holes align. The radius is a bit too big and it's a bit too tall here and here. So we can take some of the model, make some minor changes, and then send it to the printer, which is printing in the background, super quiet, super nice. So the print just came out of the printer and it looks absolutely stunning. It's the Galaxy Black from Prusa. And let's see if it now fits. As you can see from the sun, it's already starting to set. So it's now around 9 in the evening. But there's still plenty of time to finish this up. Let's remove the support material and see if everything fits. And then we can hook it all together. But so far, so good. Okay, so I was able to remove all the support material on the print itself. It was mainly to avoid these overhangs. And now we can test if everything fits in the print. That fits in quite nicely. And then the switches, hopefully, yeah. And they don't spring back, so that's good. Nice snappy action. This one fits, and this one. Okay. Perfect. And then last up are the lights on the side. I think I want to have this one on here. So I made in the end first these two blocks, these ones, in order to see if it's possible to have the right thread in there. So it's not too difficult. One was 7.5, the next one 7.6. That was still too small, and now I printed it with 7.7. So this should be good. I already tried it a bit and it seems to fit together. It can sort of make its own thread for a bit, so that makes sure that it fits quite nicely. So that's one, and then the other side has an extra wire for the fan, so to separately be able to control that one. And we can also screw that one in. Ready to solder everything up in here and then test it out. So IKEA was quite nice to us, and they put LED drivers for the LED, and this means if you look up the datasheet online that we can supply it with either 3 to 6 volts, so USB power should be just fine without overpowering this LED. Next print is also done. First one with the textured sheet. Oh, already came off. Perfect. And then we have a fan and a light. Never miss an opportunity to use a blowtorch. Also on the other one. And let's see if it fits with the extra wire. Yes, it does. Okay, so now they both have the lenses on them. That should make them even better. And lastly, this one goes on top. We are at the home stretch. It is time for a test to see if everything works. Connect the power and then have a light. Oh, nice. Have a second light, really be able to get it on. And then a fan, and then to indicate that the fan is working, I have some solder, and normally it gives some of this smoke. But now, as soon as I hold it in front of the fan will pull it away, distribute it, and back here I have a filter that actually filters the air. And you are not gonna believe what is happening. So I still need something for here, right? So I was just playing around and look what happens. I think these circles fit perfectly within the vise. So basically what these have is like 3 articulating arms and then one connector which you normally put your camera on. But I think, wait, let me check if I can. Okay, I can take this one off. Barely fits. I need another one. But I think these are just standard. Yes. So this should make it possible if it's straight as possible. Yeah, to go in here. Oh no, no fucking way. Fuck yeah. And that makes it possible to clamp the down part and then still move these hands into positions. So I just need to make some clamps on here and then I have like the ultimate solder stand. Okay, check this. It's getting more crazy by the moment. So these ends, if you just drill a hole in them, you can push these ones in and they friction fit quite well because they have this rubber overmolding. So I'm now gonna do the final one, which is a bit bigger. So let's see how that goes. It is almost midnight and this day is just killing it. New printer, everything seems perfect with the Mini, Prusa Mini. The only thing I found was that the Minda probe was a bit too low. So I adjusted this. Okay, tomorrow I need to clean up. But, oh yeah, oh, perfect. Okay, so now let's rewind. I have two longer ones and one shorter one, so you just click it on there, click this one in there, and click this one in there. And now make this as straight as possible, and make sure to move it all the way in. And the holding hands. Super productive day, super happy with it. Wait, this doesn't do justice to the whole contraption. My holding hands currently with a left light, a right light, and a fan. And it all helps to light and ventilate this area. And from there you can basically clip everything, solder whatever you would like to do, add some lights, and then solder. This 5 minutes ago was still a small tripod for a phone, and it turns out it fits perfectly in this and it clamps down. I can still use the swiveling head, and I can add the lights, make it nice to solder. All USB powered, 5 volt, super simple, no power delivery, no complex wiring. It's just 3 switches, whoa, and a micro USB connector. A small 3D print, 3 hours to print, and then a small connector here for the 30mm fan. And later on I will shorten these bolts and put some longer ones in here, and that wraps up my one-day build. Super handy hands. And that wraps up my one-day build. It's 20 minutes to 12. Last 5 minutes I added the most useful part, some holding hands, which can hold just about anything. Added the switches, lights work, lenses are on there, USB powered. Only need to mount this to the base. But that was a nice productive day, and now I am off to bed.